Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into the world of high-end watches. Specifically, we're looking at a new limited edition that, well, our sources suggest is way more than just a pretty face. Our mission, as always, is to dig into the material you've shared and pull out the key insights, the surprising bits about this particular timepiece.
Right. And the watch in question is the Glashütte original 70s X Chronograph Panda dial. The model is 13702 180270. It's definitely a great subject for this kind of deep dive, especially considering its background.
Exactly, yeah. This isn't, just your standard luxury watch release. We're talking about an anniversary piece. It's
Yeah.
super limited. I think just 100 pieces for North America.
That's right. Only 100 for the U.S. and Canada, and only through their authorized boutiques.
Okay. But what really jumped out at me from the research was this idea that the watch, and maybe the whole 70s collection, was kind of ahead of its time. Not just the look, but some of the practical features, too.
Well, this specific limited edition is celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the 70s collection hitting the market.
Right, the collection itself. It's interesting that lineage. The original Senator 70s came out, what, over a decade ago?
Mm-hmm. It followed their Senator 60s models, which were quite popular. The three-hand 70s might be a bit older. But yeah, the chronograph version, that distinct look, has been around for about 10 years now.
And how do they mark that anniversary on the watch? Is it obvious?
Oh, it's very subtle. Very Glashütte original, you could say. If you really look closely at the chronograph subdial, there's this tiny little red 10.
Ah, okay. A little insider nod.
Exactly. It's a quiet homage. And that kind of detail, that attention, it really carries through to the whole aesthetic. Especially that Panda dial.
Yeah, the Panda dial is instantly recognizable, isn't it? That bright white face with the black subdials just, boom, catches your eye. But the case? That's really where it gets unique.
It really is. It's a 40-millimeter wide square case in steel, about 14 millimeters thick. But the edges are so rounded, really graceful. It's not quite a cushion case. It feels more deliberately square.
More square, yeah. And the inspiration for that shape is kind of fun, right? Old TVs.
That's what the sources say, inspired by vintage TV screens. And, apparently the design was a bit polarizing when it first came out.
Really?
Yeah, a bit controversial. But over time, people have really come around to appreciate its unique look and, importantly, how practical it feels on the wrist. It just shows how sometimes really distinct design needs time to sink in.
That makes sense. It's grown on people.
Okay.
And you see the quality in the finishing, too. That mix of polished and brushed surfaces on the case and the bracelet. It highlights the shape nicely.
Mm-hmm. And even though it looks angular, there are no sharp edges anywhere. It's very smooth.
And practical, too. It's got, 100 meters of water resistance, screw-down crown?
Yep. 100 meters. Screw-down crown. Flat sapphire crystal with AR coating. It's built properly. It's definitely a robust sports watch, not just something trying to look sporty.
Okay, so solid construction. And this brings us back to that ahead-of-the-curve idea. Glashütte Original was putting features in their watches way before everyone else was clamoring for them.
Exactly. They were anticipating what people would want, setting trends, almost.
So like the micro-adjustment on the bracelet, can you elaborate on that? Why was that such a big deal back then?
Sure. So Glashütte Original has been making really high-quality bracelets and, crucially, integrating micro-adjustment systems right into the deployant clasp.
Okay, the folding part.
Right. They've been doing that for nearly 20 years. Now, back when they started, that was really uncommon. But fast forward to today, and having easy micro-adjust is one of the top things serious watch buyers demand.
And this 70s chronograph has it on its steel bracelet.
It does. It's a perfect example of that foresight.
It really is, anticipating needs. Our sources also mentioned an alternative strap, right? A rubber one.
Yeah, it also comes on their newer black rubber strap. And it's not just any rubber strap. It's known for being really comfortable. It has this elegant taper, and the texture actually matches the case styling. So it's a properly thought-out alternative, makes the watch more versatile.
Nice. Okay, so unique design, forward-thinking features. What about the engine inside? The movement. It's the in-house caliber 3702 automatic chronograph, right? What's special about it?
Well, first off, it's just an excellent movement. And it's beautiful to look at through the case back. Technically speaking, it runs at 4 hertz, standard beat rate, and gives you about 70 hours of power reserve. They're pretty
It's
solid.
good power reserve. And function-wise, besides telling time with lume, I assume.
Yep, loomed hands and markers.
Okay, it's got that big panorama date window, which is very Dago, a 12-hour chronograph, and a power reserve indicator. But didn't the sources say they managed to make the dial look cleaner, even with all that?
They did. It's quite clever. The power reserve indicator is integrated into one of the subdials, and the layout generally aims for that cleaner bicompax two-subdial look. So you get all the useful info, but without cluttering things up visually.
A nice balance, aesthetics and utility.
hmm And it includes a flyback chronograph function.
Ah, the flyback. Explain that quickly for listeners who might not know.
Sure. It means you can reset and restart the chronograph timer instantly with just one push of the reset button instead of having to stop, reset, then restart. It's a high-end complication, really useful in practice, and the sources mentioned the pushers feel really good too. Very refined action.
Okay, so it's not just functional, it feels premium.
Exactly. And you see that in other details too, like the level of decoration on the movement, and they even use 21 karat gold for the automatic rotor weight. So while the movement itself isn't brand new, it's proven, performs really well, and packs in a lot of features for, well, for the money.
Okay, for the money. This is where things get really interesting, isn't it? Because with all the design, the features, the in-house movement, you'd think expensive. But our deep dive found something surprising about its value proposition, especially now.
That's absolutely right. If you look at the luxury watch market over the past, say, 10 years, Glashütte Original's value proposition has arguably increased. Why? Because many other brands, especially Swiss ones, have raised their prices quite significantly, often without adding substantially more watchmaking value.
So Glashütte prices might have gone up, but maybe not as dramatically relative to the quality?
Something like that. But there's another huge factor at play here, especially for buyers in the U.S. tariffs.
Ah, yes. This was fascinating. Explain the tariff situation.
Okay, so our sources pointed out something critical. Imported Swiss watches face very high tariffs in the United States. Currently, it's around 39%, which is significant.
Wow, 39%.
Yeah, but watches imported from Germany, the tariff rate is much, much lower, around 15%.
15 versus 39%. That's a massive difference.
It's huge. What this means for you, the listener, if you're considering a high-end watch, it makes German watches, like this Glashütte Original, a really compelling option right now. You're getting genuinely high-end quality, great engineering, but without that same massive tariff hit that impacts Swiss competitors. It's a major value consideration that often gets overlooked.
That really reframes things, doesn't it? It's not just about the sticker price, but the underlying economics. So summing up its position, it's a solid sports watch, fun design, luxury touches, and the source suggested it doesn't have a ton of direct competition right now at its price point.
Correct. It really occupies its own kind of niche. It's not trying to be like everything else. It's distinctive.
And that reinforces Glashütte Original's overall standing, you think?
I'd say so. I mean, this is a company that produces a seriously impressive range of its own movements. They're not just assembling parts. And they are a true institution in the town of Glashütte itself, the heart of German watchmaking. The research mentioned a recent visit, photos at the headquarters. They have deep roots and capabilities.
Right. So the big takeaway from this deep dive today, what should listeners really remember?
Well, I think it's two key things. First, how Glashütte Original managed to combine this unique, almost prescient design with really solid in-house engineering. They were ahead of the game.
Okay, design and engineering foresight.
And second, crucially, how today's market conditions, especially those tariffs, make German watchmaking, and this watch specifically, an incredibly appealing path for value and quality.
Yeah, that tariff angle is a powerful insight.
Definitely. And, it leads to a final thought, something for you to maybe ponder.
Okay, let's hear it.
Think about how being ahead of the curve, like Glashütte Original was, with features like the micro-adjust or even that unique design, it doesn't just create a good product for its time. It actually starts to subtly influence what we expect later on. It can shift market trends, consumer demands, maybe even slowly reshape how we define luxury or value itself in ways we don't even notice at first.
That's interesting. So these forward-thinking products aren't just products, they're subtly teaching us what to want next. Makes you wonder. What other things out there right now in any industry are quietly setting the standards for tomorrow? What's shaping our future expectations without us even realizing it? Something to definitely think about.